Hello everyone, this is Dr. J with the Human Movement Institute, where we have improvement through movement. I had a special request by a beloved colleague to create a postpartum core and abdominal strengthening video. So this will give us a dynamic warm-up, followed by hitting all sides of the core, as well as emphasis on the abdomen. Before we do any strengthening, we want to make sure that we do some dynamic warm-up. Half kneeling hip extension and flexion exercises is a great way to start to free up the hips and the pelvis prior to strengthening. We can add arm movements to further engage the core as we rock forward and back. I would recommend anywhere between 10 to 20 repetitions on both sides. After we do 10 to 20 of our half kneeling dynamic activation, we want to start to do trunk rotation. Trunk rotation allows us to use the internal oblique on the same side that we're turning, and conversely on the contralateral side, the external oblique. So this is a way to not only free up the front of the hips and pelvis, but to engage the oblique muscles through various degrees of I would do 10 to 20 times on each side. You can have a mat or a pad for comfort on the knees, or do it on a mat table. Next would be cat-cow. Cat-cow is a wonderful way to start to engage the abdomen while mobilizing our spine. I would start with 10 to 20. And if we time our breath, like inhale as we look up, and exhale with an F or S sound, we can further engage the deep abdominals, particularly the transversus abdominis. After 10 to 20 of these, we'll be ready to go into some core strengthening. I also like some side bends, 5 to 10 times each side. So we're opening up one side of the spine and body while we contract the other side. Turn right, contract the right, open up and release the left. Next, we're ready to go into core stability. A good foundation in pelvic awareness is essential to protect the spine, to prevent excessive rotation of the spine during any core strength activation. This requires a good pelvic tilt, which we'll do a separate video on, and a navel to spine. If we don't keep the tilt and the tuck of navel to spine, we are neglecting the corset muscle, transversus abdominis. So the foundation to all of our core strength and stability is tilt and tuck. Next is to start to engage the abdominal stabilizers with movement. This is a classic exercise known as a dead bug or alternate arm leg. However, during the arm movements, I am tilting and tucking. This is a wonderful way to engage front body core. However, whenever you take your opposite leg and arm up, you can push down into the ground with your heel to engage the hamstring and the gluteus maximus to better stabilize the pelvis along with your tilt and tuck. Next is the C curl. Particularly postpartum, we could get abdominal separation and doming. We want to prevent this. We prevent this by the tilt and the tuck. You can also manually hold your abdomen together and down to prevent any doming. From here, we can do arm movements with the fixed or stable core. Breathe in twice, exhale twice. Breathe in, exhale. You do 10 to 20 of these as a starting dose, and you should start to feel some soreness in the abdomen. These can be progressed with the tilt and tuck and legs up. The further the legs are up, the more you bring lower abdomen along with upper abdomen. Some might say, Dr. J, why aren't we doing crunches or sit-ups? While those do strengthen the rectus abdominis, they do not stabilize. Secondly, holding these postures and positions with our arm and or leg positions allows us to stabilize our spine while strengthening our core. If you do want to do some lower abdomen work, tilting, tucking, then curling, then down. One leg at a time is the easier version. You do 3 sets of 10 of these, and you will be burning in the lower abdomen. The progression is to lower both at the same time, but make sure you have the tilt and the tuck. Be careful not to strain your neck. Many patients with weak abdominal muscles strain their neck. So I'm keeping a chin tuck and or supporting head and neck. Next, the side body core to start to engage abdominal muscles like the obliques. The side prop exercise is a wonderful way to do this. By adding a clamshell, you can get the gluteus medius on both sides as well. I can do a starting dose of 2 to 3 for 10 to 20 second holds, and I can build up to 30 second holds. We can also progress into dynamic, where we lower the pelvis to the floor or table and then raise the pelvis from the table. Be sure to have the elbow at roughly 90. Some people do better with palm down. Others do better with making a fist with their thumb up. Notice that the arm is in line with the shoulder to prevent any shoulder pain or pathology. If the arm gets too high, you can put undue stress on the shoulder. A starting dose for repetition, side prop, clamshell, dynamic, would be 3 sets of 10 reps each side, but I would recommend doing an extra couple reps or an extra set on the weaker side down. This will help you bring core symmetry into your body, not just strength. The more equal the core can engage, the less rotation and torque into the spine. Hand positions can help progress the complexity of the exercise. Beginner level is to have the hand on the pelvis. Next would be a on knee modified plank on hands. First, I'm pushing the ground away, tucking chin or head nod, chin tuck, and now I'm breathing. On the inhale, breathe in the nose. On the exhale, can be out of the nose or out of the mouth. If you're breathing out of the mouth, S and or F sound as you draw navel to spine really helps you engage the abdominals, and in particular, rectus abdominis, the further forward, as well as transversus abdominis. If this bothers your wrist, you can always bring it to a modified forearm front bridge or plank and hold as a starting dose 5 to 10 breaths. Relax 2 to 3 times. This could be progressed to a high plank. Same starting dose, 5 to 10 breaths, 2 to 3 times. By now, your body will need a break, so we can rest into what is known as child's pose and or cobra to stretch the abdomen we were just working. Next are bird dogs. I would start with 3 to 5 for 2 to 3 breaths on each side. Master good spinal alignment and awareness. I'm reaching for the walls with my heel of my foot and my hand. This is not an overextension. This again is where neutral spine and pelvic awareness come in. So I can be arched or too rounded, or ideally or optimally in the middle. This is known as neutral spine, navel to spine. These can be progressed for an intermediate level, dynamic bird dogs, 5 to 10 times, 2 to 3 sets. Next, we're ready for back, body, core. Our core program would not be complete if we did not engage all of our back postural muscles, like our periscap muscles, pulling blades down and back for lower trapezius, squeezing our buttocks for gluteus maximus. Slight knee bend will help engage the hamstrings. Next is the breath, breathing in, out through the nose or mouth. If I'm breathing out through the mouth, navel to spine on the exhale. If this is too hard, you would start with a prone alternate upper and lower extremity, but having a goal of doing full prone back body activation, 30 seconds to 1 minute, 2 to 3 times. After any strengthening program, it's a good idea to start to go into a cool down. Cool downs can be done with a couple child's poses, a couple cobras, and a couple thread the needles and open the books. I usually do 5 each way for myself and our patients. I can also hold this for a couple breaths in each position and do it 1 to 2 times. This concludes our beginning level postpartum video. We recommend that you're at least 12 weeks postpartum. So as long as there's no other major pathology, this would be safe to start. And then once you master this program, there are intermediate and more advanced programs. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Please share it with your friends and family and colleagues. Take care and see you all again soon.